standing for truth, why do dolphins have genes for legs? Why do humans still have yolk producing genes?
Right, so those yolk-produced genes are based on fragments. There's some papers and articles you can look at. It all comes down to the junk DNA paradigm, pseudogenes, which they say are genetic mistakes. These are not genetic mistakes. These are actually functional DNA elements, and we've seen the overturning of the so-called egg yolk pseudogene. A lot of these, so-called genetic mistakes are actually just functional DNA differences, respective to the different species and the different kinds. And that's a direct prediction based on our created genetic diversity hypothesis that I touched on, that the vast majority of our genetics will be functional. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So whoever asked that question, yeah, definitely they're behind on the science, unfortunately, but I can direct them, to the right path.
Gotcha.
So can I just ask you a quick question? Standing, is science going towards that we evolved from 6 people 4,000 years ago?
Yeah, good question. So, for example, we're making testable predictions on mitochondrial DNA variants. So we can see that in the world, our mitochondrial DNA, we go back to 3 major haplogroups. So you can make predictions based on that. For example, the L node, and you can see that those haplogroups are directly in line with Noah's 3 daughters-in-law. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And we can see that with the pseudogenes. We can see even the chromosomal 2 fusion. I mean, all these things have been overturned. And I think there's a lot of evolutionists that are just behind the times, because genetics is evolving more and more every day.
Gotcha.
So our fusion of chromosome 2 and 3 is proving that we came from a common ancestor 4,400 years ago?
Good question. No, yeah, the hypothetical chromosomal 2 fusion, it's been overturned because, for one, it's really hard to find these so-called remnant telomeres. The area is highly degenerate, as well as the so-called remnant or cryptic centromere that should be should be found. They're having a difficult time finding that. And the fusion site's actually located, Mark, you may be aware of this, the hypothetical fusion site's located smack dab in the middle of a complex and functional gene. But its sequence contains a functional transcription factor binding domain that's, believe it or not, uniquely positioned to control the transcriptional complexity of that DDX11L2 gene. So there's many different factors at play that have overturned the chromosomal 2 fusion. It's not a fusion site.
Well, it
Gotcha.
hasn't been overturned,
We've gotta go back
it hasn't
quick.
been overturned, but it's definitely a unique site, the 2 and 3 genome. I think you will agree that there's definitely something there we need to look at. That genome does not look right to us, and there's a reason that 2 and 3 do not look right.
Yeah, there looks to be some
Standing,
degeneration.
we'll give you a quick response, but then we got to jump right back into the Q&A. Standing.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's some degeneration going on there.
Gotcha.
That's all I gotta say.
Thank you.